Dear students, good morning to you all. I am Dr. Gopala Sudarshanam, Senior Assistant Professor of Commerce, working at Government Degree College, Gajuel. Welcome to you all to this CC initiated video lessons presentation. Today, we will have a lesson, a class on time series analysis. This topic is chosen from Business Statistics subject, BCom second year. Here we will learn what is time series analysis, its definition, its elements, components, and different other related particulars. What is time series? How it is analyzed? That we will learn through this presentation. A time series is a set of observations taken at a specified times, usually at equal intervals. Time series is a set of observations. The observations made by the statistician or a person, a business analyst, or a numerator who collects the data on a particular variable for a specified times. This specified times will have some equal intervals. The another definition given by the Lan Chow that can be seen as this from this slide. A time series may be defined as a collection of readings belonging different time periods of some economic or composite variables. See, the collection of data on a particular economic or composite variable. Economic variables may be incomes, expenditure, imports, exports, production of a paddy, otherwise let me say sales, purchases. Likewise, on any economic or composite variables, if we go on collect the data for a particular time period, or that particular time period will be with the equal intervals, that technique of statistics is called as time series. If it is analyzed by using certain scientific and rational tools, it will be termed as time series analysis. So the time series establishes, this time series analysis technique can establishes the cause and effect relation between the two variables. What are these two variables? One variable is time, which is independent variable. The another variable is data, which is dependent variable. The data may be again relating to, as we discussed just now, that economic data, or the data relating to composite variables like death rates, birth rates, germination of the seeds, production, import, export. So such thing is the second variable, which is called as data. This is quite dependable. But whereas the another variable which can be considered in time series analysis is called time. It is independent. Then why we should study this time series analysis? In fact, the time series analysis is very important tool and statistical technique to study relating to economic parameters, relating to variables of economic in nature. Then why? Why we should study it? What is the need of time series analysis? Because we have to study this time series analysis, that it is a very popular tool for business forecasting. The business is in fact function or perform in the most uncertain circumstances, but still a prospective or a competent businessman has to forecast what happens tomorrow, what will be the fluctuations taken place in business, maybe regarding to profits, sales, sales volumes, customer satisfaction, quantum or volume of sales. So these things should be anticipated. A prospective and a capable businessman can do it. So to do that very effectively, predictively, and in a most efficient manner, he has to depend on a scientific tool. That the scientific tool, one of them is time series analysis. The second need is that it is basis for understanding the past behavior. When you want to anticipate the future behavior of a particular variable, one must know the past and the previous behavior of that variable. Variable will be a time period or variable will be the given economic element. So to understand its past behavior, whether in the previous years it is in a downtrend or the uptrend or the stable, so to know that behavior and how that variable is getting affected, are there any elements that are causing a vehement impact on the variable, these things can be identified, can be understood thoroughly by a business analyst and or a businessman with the usage of time series analysis techniques. And it can forecast future activities. Forecast the future activities, what to be undertaken in a business. If you take a government business owner, what should be the his business activities in the future period? If he is in the month of, let me say, July, what will happen in the September? What will be happen in the October? For example, if we maintain very low amount of governments during the month of October, we can assume him as a poor forecasting businessman, because during the month of October that will be a season for the festivals. There will be more turn up of the customers, so that this kind of things can be learned by the salesman by his fast behavior or his business fast behavior. These things can be known with the usage of the time series analysis technique. It can also help in planning for the future operations, and it can help us to evaluate current and evaluation of performance, the performance of the things that you are analyzing, or the elements of the components related to your business expenditure, profit, or the asset behavior, liabilities behavior, and impact of any other unforeseen element, that can also be evaluated and to some extent forecasted with the proper and rational usage of time series analysis. Generally, this time series analysis can make a study of the variations and fluctuations in the variables. What are the reasons for these variations? Those may be social customs, festivals, as just we discussed. In the month of July and August, there will be very low and very less sales for the government. But when you take it in the month of October, due to the first festive season, there will be more sales. Similarly, let me say in the month of non-monsoon season, there will be no demand for the umbrellas or the particular specified clothes. But during the rainy season, there will be more demand for them. So that these are the causes for the variation of the variation that you can find in the study of the variable. And these where seasons may be one of the reasons. And for other phases of business like prosperity, decline, depression, recovery, these are the important 4 different stages of the business that can also affect the variation of the variables, the fluctuation that took place in the variables. Similarly, natural calamities. For example, you take today the whole globe is scared because of the pandemic of a coronavirus, and almost all economies have been in a downtrend. They are very sluggish. So that why it is, because of, we will consider it a big natural calamity like earthquake, epidemic, flood, drought, etc. Sometimes the political movements and changes in the governance and war environment, if it is prevailed, those things can also cause for the variations in the variables. Generally, what are the examples we can locate at the time series analysis? Like stock prices. When we look at the news channels, at the end of the news, what they can display, the particular shares have been come down, the price have been come down, certain shares have been increased. Like that, stock prices tendency can be studied. Sensex can be studied. Similarly, exchange rate, interest rate, inflation rate, and the national GDP, and the variations in the retail sales and of course wholesale sales, electric power consumption. For example, electric power consumption during this summer season will be more. Electric power will be consumed more because people can consume refrigerators, air coolers, fans very vehemently. But in other seasons like rainy and this present season, people can use them as at a lower level. Hence, this can cause for the variations in usage of the power. Similarly, number of accidents, fatalities, such things can be considered as examples for the time series analysis. Then, what are the major components of time series analysis? These are the very important things. Means these components can affect and influence the variables that we study in time series analysis. What variables we said? One is a independent variable, that is time. The another one is data dependent variable. The fluctuation that took place in dependent variable will be affected by basically with the components of time series analysis. What are these? Secular trends, means the long-term trends, seasonal variations. Because of change in seasons, the fluctuations in data can also be changed. For example, particular people affected with cold and cough. During the rainy season, it will be more. During the winter season also, it will be little more. But when you compare these two with the summer season, it will be less. Similarly, let me say, you purchase of refrigerators. Generally, it will be very less during the winter season. Of course, in the rainy season too. But when you take the period of a particular period of summer, then what happens? The purchase of the refrigerator will be more. Why it is so? Why they have not purchased more during the month of July and August? Why they have purchased more in the month of April, May of that refrigerators? Because of seasonal impact. So this is can also this component is also another important one that influence the time series analysis. And cyclical variation. Cyclical variation is in business cycle variation. As we learned previous slide, that is depression, recovery, prosperity. Those changes will also impact. Similarly, irregular variation. Certain variations will be there. We cannot estimate them. We cannot anticipate them. Suddenly it happens. Let us now get back our own example that this corona pandemic, anybody has expected a couple of years ago this thing can prevail and it can dominate across the globe and it can affect almost all the sectors. Has it ignored any sector? No. So that this kind of variations can also influence the data variables and fluctuations in the data. Generally, we will have broadly two types of trends. Whatever you take, whether it is birth rate or death rate, imports or export, sales or inflation, prices, whatever you take, the trend, the variations will be broadly two. But the third element will also be considered, that is upward trend, downward trend, and no trend at all. So these are the types of trends. And downward trend means declining. For example, if you take the price, if prices are declining, this can be called as downward trend. And due to the impact of the corona, if death rates are decreasing, that is a downward trend. You can look at the slide, you will find the second one. Similarly, upward trend. If patients attracting and affected by the increasing day by day, if there is more spike, then we will take it as an upward trend. So that this trend, no trend will also be there. But in generally, the trend is an important element that will be considered to analyze the variables under time series analysis technique. So this trend, when we speak mathematically, that may be a linear or non-linear. Linear means with a stable change. For example, if you take, if your marks are increased by constant 10 marks, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, like that, it is a linear trend. If the marks are increased erratically, randomly, like say 10, 13, 18, 32, 20, 34, like this is non-linear trend. Then the purpose of, again, we said the need we learn. Now, what is the purpose of measuring? Why should we study the trend of either death rate or birth rate or price levels, whether prices are in upward trend or downward trend, or the impact of, let me say, COVID patients death trend, or to study? Why we have to study it? To have the knowledge over it, to take precautions for it, and to estimate what will happen the other day, and to study the other components affecting the things, and to initiate the measures to stop that kind of effects, adverse effects. We make this study. Then the importance of time series analysis. So to why the to if we study the time series analysis, what benefit we will get? See, the slide can indicate almost we have identified 10 important areas that helps the time series analysis technique, like profit of experience, safety studies we can make. Example, in a particular road on a particular day, more accidents are taking place on particular day only. If we make a study that we could find on particular day, there will be a rural market. People floating and fluctuation is more. So that almost 10 to 15 villages are, fluctuating and connected with that rural market. Then the density of the people on particular day is more. That is one of the reasons to cause for accident. Then what to do? We have to advise some safety measures. We will that can be done with on particular day only. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, two police people are asked to stay there. But as more accidents are taking place on Thursday, on particular Thursday, as it is the rural marketing taking place, we will ask police people to put more police so as to regulate and control. So the safety studies we can conduct, and utility studies we will make, quality control aspects we can do, and evaluation of change we will undertake, and risk analysis can be done by the business entities with the help of this time series analysis. Similarly, output of the projections and projects can be studied, and a businessman can able to forecast the sales quantum on periodically, and stock market analysis can be done. Whatever you see in the news channel and newspapers, statistical analysis relating to the stock market, that is quite based on the time series analysis. Inventory studies we will do. Economic forecasting can be done. Similarly, the every 10 years in our country can do a census analysis. That census analysis can be done, and others like budgetary analysis we can do. And mathematically, to calculate, to compute this time series analysis, we have to study them. One is addition model, and second one is multiplication model. So to study the time series analysis scientifically, technically, we have two models. One is addition model, another one is multiplication model. So the formula used for the addition model is y is equal. In some textbooks, some teachers can use it as yc, because the yc is the original value, trend value, and is equal t plus s plus c plus I. What is this t plus s plus c plus I? These are the four important components. As we learned in the previous slide, I can show you this one. These four are, if they are added, that can be addition model. If they are multiplied, that is a multiplication model. What are the four? Trend. The formula written here. Check it. T stands for trend. S stands for seasonal variation. C for cyclical variation, and I is irregular variation. If they could be added, then it is a addition model. If they are multiplied, that can be called as a multiplication model. Then, what are the measurement of trend? What are the methods we use to measure this trend? Whether the data of import or export is in upward trend or downward trend or stable, constant. How you can measure it? Being a expert in statistics or to make accurate results, to make accurate statements, one must depend on scientific techniques and tools. So that this analysis, what it can say on particular year, in particular period, certain variables are changing more. In the month of January, sales are downward. February is also downward. March, they are getting increased. April also more increase. But again, when it is come to May, it has come to stable, constant, no upward or downtrend. How you can make this statement? Our statement should be supported, justified with a scientific support, scientific usage. So that in statistics, the statisticians have advised, proposed some methods. These methods are broadly again categorized into four. So to study the trends, we have four measurement techniques. One is freehand curve method. Second one is semi-averages method. Third one is moving averages method. And fourth one is least square method. In this class today, we will basically see the first two methods. One is freehand curve method. It is completely a graphic method. And here, under this method, we can study the trend, the movement, the variation or fluctuations taking in particular variable in a specified period. For example, if I want to take and if you want to make a study of fluctuations in sales of cell phone for last 5 months, January, February, March, April, May. For these 5 months during 2020, what trend has registered? What happened to the sales of the cell phone? So that is here the January, February, March, April, May. These 5 months are the time we will take as an independent variable. And what I want to study, the sales of cell phone. So that is a dependent variable. Now I can collect the data. What happened? What are the sales registered in January 1000 in a particular shop? 100 cell phones were sold in January, February 80, March 40, April 30, and May again, let me say 60. This is the data I have collected. So if this data, based on this data, if I prepare the variation and registered in a paper with the help of a statistical technique, that is a freehand curve method. So that graphically it is represented, hence it is also known as the graphic method. Here, time series values are plotted on the graph paper. So what we will take to record all the data, we will take a graph paper, and on that graph paper, we will put the data plotted, dots the data. The data is what? Time and variable. And if we draw the straight line joining these dots, what we will put on plot on the paper, we will get a line, and that I can show you in the next slide what happens. So this freehand curve method is very easiest method to understand, to prepare, and also to learn, because here no mathematical calculations, equations, and formulas are used. So that is very simplest method. And one must remember that always in freehand curve method, what happens? On y-axis, we will take the time. See, in time series analysis, we will have two variables. One is time variable, another one is data variable. Data may be sales, purchases, birth rate, death rate, production, manufacturing, import, export, isn't it? Likewise. So that on y-axis, while drawing the freehand curve method, on y-axis, we will draw time element, right? Time variable. On y-axis, we will write the given variable, whatever we study. See, look at it here. I have taken data. On y-axis, I have taken the years. and on y axis have taken the production. So every year production, I will put a dot. In 1981, how much production is taken place? Production of paddy, production of maize, production of particular fruits, right? So oil, whatever. So that we will put on y-axis production and y-axis time period, years. So in 1981 time period, let me say how much production taken place. For example, it is 7. We will put a dot, a round circle dot. Then one more dot. Like that, every year production and time will be plotted, and joining them we will draw the line, so that that line is called the trend line. Similarly, this is another one. We will see. And y-axis we will take the time period, and y-axis we will take the sales, and we'll put a plot, and dots will plotted on the paper, and joining them we will draw a line that is called like the trend line. The second method is semi-averages method. As we learned that there are 4 methods to study the trend. One is what? Just we learn freehand graphic method, freehand curve method. Second one is semi-averages method. Is under this method, total given data will be divided into 2 parts. But whereas in your previous method, every data we will plot it and we will draw a line. That line can be considered as a trend line that will be fluctuating upward, downward, it takes place. But here under second method, semi-averages method, what happens is the given data of maybe sales, production, whatever it is, of a specific period can be divided into 2 parts. Total data, I will show you the next slide that is. And for that given data, if years is even number, then it is very easy to divide it into 2 parts. How it is? For example, 8 years are there. These 2 should be divided into 2 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this 8 years are there. If I ask you to divide them into 2 equal parts, what happens? 1 to 4 is one part, 5 to 8 is another part. It's very easy to divide. But if it is given, the years are given the number, then what happens? How can you divide equally? For example, 9 years are there. Can you divide them equally? One side will be 4 years, another side will be 5 years. So then what happens? To make ease to calculate the trend under this method, what we will do is exactly the central year will be removed. For example, 9 years are given. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 years are given. What is the central year here? 5th year is the central year. The left side of the 5th year is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 years. The right side of the 5th year is 6, 7, 8, 9. So that 5th year is the central year that will be removed. Then the trend values can be calculated. Just I can show you here. Look at this example problem. If the given years are even number, make a semi-averages. See, years are 8 and sales are given likewise. Then what to do? How you can find the average? In semi-average method only we will take 2 averages. First average, second average. What is the first average here? The 8 years are given now. They have to be divided into 2 parts. What are the 2 parts? First year, second year, third year, and fourth year. This is first part. 5th year, 6th year, 7th year, and 8th year is the second part. So then all that 4 years of each part should be totaled and divided by the number of years. First year, what happened? First year, in the first part, 4 years are taken. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 year sales stand at 60, 80, 75, 90. You total them. What should be the total? 60 plus 80, 140. 140 plus 75, 250. 215 plus 93. If you divided them by 4, you will get 76.25. That is the average of first part. Semi-average, remember, that is not the exact central value or average or mid value of the given data. Hence why it is called as semi-average. What is the second part? We have removed the center 4 years, 1, 2, 3, 4 is first part. The second part is fifth year, sixth year, seventh year, and eighth year. These 4 years average we will take 115 plus 130 plus 120 plus 142, then divided by 4, we will get the 126.75. Taking these two, see, part A average is 26.25 and part 2 average is 126.75. This is enough impact to calculate. But again, if you want to represent them in a graph, that calculation is enough. Slide is enough to calculate the semi-average. But again, sometimes in examination, examiner may ask you to that show the semi-average on the graph paper. Then what to do? This is a picture we will take. What happens? We will take and again y-axis axis year and y-axis another variable sales, and we will take 76.25 is the average. In the first part what happened? First year, second year, third year, fourth year. In these 4 years, 76.25 average we got. It will be lie between second and third year. So that in y-x axis, second and third, in between we will make a dot. I made this with arrow, red arrow, and there we will write the value of 76.25. Similarly, second part take, that is 126.75. That average will be seen between the 6th and 7th year sales. That will be between 6th and 7th year we will plot it. This is showing the semi-average. Then example problem for the odd number case. That is in previous one is even number case, 8 years. If 9 years are given, what to do? As I said, again, when 9 years are given, the central year should be removed. Here, what is the central year? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, first part. 6, 7, 8, 9 is the second part. So these equal parts are divided by the center year. That is fifth year. That will be fifth year, and its corresponding sales will be removed in calculation. So that the first part average will be first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and second part average is 6th, 7th, and what happened? Fifth year is removed. 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9 year. That average will come. Again, this will be the slide. Then the third method is moving averages method. So first method is free hand curve method. Second one is semi-average method. Now the third one is very important one, very extensive to the previous two methods. It is moving averages method. In this class, we will have some theoretical explanation only. In the next class, we will have its problematic approach. Some problems can be illustrated. So it can overcome the limitations of semi-averages method, such as only two averages and impact of extreme values of variable. In semi-average method, one difficulty is there. Only two averages are taken. Number one. Number two, in any year, if a particular amount variable is with a huge value, it completely impacts the other. So that extreme value can change the average value. So it may take to some adverse. For example, in first examination, let me say, if we conduct exam to a student, he has written 4 exams. In first exam, he got 10 marks. In second exam, he got 15 marks. In third exam, he got 18 marks. But in fourth exam, he got 98 marks. If I ask him what is your average mark of the 4 years, certainly he will have around 30 plus, 25 around that. But first 3 years he could not get it. Can we make him as oh you good, we managed very good marks? So that the extreme value impact will be more. And it considers that. So, but in this moving average method, we will overcome that method. We will not go for the only two averages of the list values and highest values, otherwise part 1 values and part 2 values. But here we will consider all values. And moving average is a technique to get the overall idea of the trend, and it can explain the moving average for forecasting the things. Then here the moving averages can be let me say two types again, odd number averages and even number averages. The odd number averages, like let me say one odd number years, first year, third year, fifth year, seventh year, ninth year, 11th year, 13th year, like that it is a odd number case. If the movings are taken from even number case 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, then it is even number case. So how we will calculate problems under these methods, we will see in next class.